got the old snags. Carly's made some mash. And a bit of salad. Fire burned down a bit before we chuck them on. Rock and roll. Just threw the old yabby net in to see what would come out. Some massive shrimp. Really big ones. That's the biggest one. There it is. Look at that. A few more. Just chucked a line in over here. It's nice to pull the yabby net in and not be full of carp fingerlings for a change. So I just donned one on a hook here and threw him out. See what happens. So the fire's probably down enough, I reckon. Just chuck the snags in. Just chuck them in the wire grate and flip them over. Not rocket science. Just chuck him on the top for now. Keep an eye on it. Rock and roll. What have we got in the pot? Ooh.
Mash dal.
Ooh. What do you call that, Dale?
It's even got fork condiments attached to it.
And I reckon the snags are pretty much done. Is that hot? I reckon that'll be hot. How are they looking? Looking good. Looking good. What have we got there? Bit of salad.
Some kind of baby beetroot slaw.
Mm.
It's a bit of a mash-up, really, this evening.
Sorted.
Voila.
Voila. Now, surprise, surprise, the dirty old mud marlin. Oh well, keep trying. Yeah, it's a cool little spot, little sandy bar on the bend. Looks like people have camped here. There's a decent fire pit there. There isn't any tracks in. I just did a bit of an explore down the back. Definitely no tracks over there, so whatever, they must have come here by boat, I'd imagine. A bit further down that way, it looks like there's a picnic area if I look at Google Maps, so you probably drive to that point and then canoe over to here maybe, or boat. Yeah, some interesting drag lines on the ground as well. Can't see any footprints next to that. I wonder if there's snakes. Doesn't look like a sidewinder type action though. Probably a lizard of some sort. All different types of birds. Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, GoPro battery's about to go flat, and I think the 360 is in a similar situation, so no doubt I'll catch a massive fish now and I won't be able to catch it on camera. Anyway, I better wet these lines. It's running really fast right here on this bend, so I don't think this is a good spot. Might get into the picnic area and see what we can find. I was through the roddy when I got back. It's getting a lot bigger. It's a big slob. 50 centimetres. Probably more. Dispatch time. Okay, it's the final morning, about to take off. Just packing up the boat. Another fishless mission. Oh well, unless you count the half a dozen carp. Yeah, we're going to try a new and novel approach to get the boat out of the water. Got to drag it up this bank. I'm not sure that's really shows just how steep that is, but got a few bumps, a few tree roots and things to navigate. I'm going to try and pull it out and see how we go. Drag it up onto the bank and pack it up. That worked out pretty well. Pretty happy with that technique. So the straps on the roof racks meant that I had a bit of angle down to the boat, so when you drive backwards, the front of the boat lifts up, just protects the underside of the pontoons a bit. There's some tree roots and things down on that slope, so it just helped me as I was lifting it. As Carly was driving backwards, I was able to lift the front a bit, which just meant that it was a bit safer. Yeah, but using that technique again, if you do it off the tow ball, it just drags nose down, which is not great. Now the fun part begins. Just got to clean all of that before I pack it away. Heading into winter in Victoria, so probably not going to get as much use as it has done to date. But yeah, it's got to be clean and dry before we put it away. I won't show you the pack down. If you want to see that, there's other episodes on my channel that go through the pack away process. Go check those out. That was a cool little campsite for a couple of nights. I did a lot of boating. I won't call it fishing, we'll just call it boating because there wasn't many fish involved. As per usual, this is not a fishing channel, as I keep saying. Just jumped onto the dirt on the Rufus River Road right now. So I've left the side, driven a few k's down the road, and we're on back on the dirt, which is nice. Don't know where we're staying or what we're going to find ahead. It's late morning, just going to cruise for an hour or so and see what pops up. And and yeah, find a camp later on this arvo. Yeah, we're about halfway along the track, I reckon. Now we just hit Lake Victoria. Pretty good drive so far. The road's in pretty good nick. We actually got to a point where there's some graders and roadworks happening where they're fixing the road up, so we got the benefit of that for the first half of the trip. The last half got a little bit sketchy in spots, but not too bad. That's so Lake Victoria over my shoulder, and that's the weir stopping the water going out into the Rufus River there. Frenchman's Creek's the other one that's down on this side, on the south side of Lake Victoria, as an outlet, and they both flow down and into the Murray at some point. Heaps of birds out there smashing the carp, which is good to see. The lake looks pretty low, still fairly beautiful though. Glorious day. Still don't know where we're going to land. Driven past a few little signs saying campsites, but I'm sure there'll be one up ahead. I might try and camp on this lake. I don't know if I can, but we'll figure it out. Get back to you soon. It's a fairly serious carp kill. This, God, you can barely see the ground for them. Look at them all. Wow. This might even be a little campground itself. Can't quite drive in. Oh, maybe up here, yeah. This is a little campground. Not sure we'll stop, but massive wedgie nest up there. It's huge. Wow. Yeah, it's a cool little campsite. I don't think we'll stay. We'll see how things go, but Carly's just discovered that there's a hot shower unit in there that you press a button and you get hot water for a while, so she can take advantage of that. We do have hot water in the van, but why use your own water and power when you can use someone else's, hey? Yeah, so cool little campsite, but all that dead carp, it is a bit stinky. There is a track over the road here that heads down that way. It's called Lock 7 Road or something, which takes you down to the junction of the Rufus and the Murray, and Wikicamp says there's campsites there, but they also haven't had reports written on them for over a year now. But the last report in 2022 was suggesting the road was closed because it was wet, but I reckon it'll be all right now. Just heating up some pies for lunch. Sorted. Almost. Now we're sorted. Yeah, so it turns out the showers were freezing cold, so I've elected to not have one. I'll just have one in the caravan later. Yeah, so we're going to do a U-bolt and go down that Lock 7 and see if we can get down to the junction with the Murray and camp there tonight. Take you along for the ride. Not sure we'll make it, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, so we're just heading off now from that little bush camp on the Rufus River. Great little spot. Dawn chorus this morning was absolutely amazing. The birds were going crazy right there at that junction where the Rufus meets the Murray. It was cacophony, which was really cool to listen to, and the sunrise, pretty amazing. So we're just on this little Lock 7 road back out to the Rufus River Road. I don't think there's much of the Rufus River Road left after Lake Victoria, so we'll just see what happens for the rest of the day, but we'll call it a day there on the episode. Thanks for dialing in again. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm off on another merry adventure soon into the Northern Territory, so you'll probably see that soon on the channel as well. Cheerio for now.